Did you know the key to transforming your greatest challenges into your most powerful achievements lies in a philosophy over 2,000 years old? Imagine meeting your struggles not with frustration or despair, but with calm, clarity, and the strength of a warrior. Stoicism isn't just about overcoming obstacles, it's about completely reshaping how you live. It teaches you to find peace in chaos and strength in adversity. Today, we'll dive into the heart of Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that can change your life, just as it did for Marcus Aurelius, one of Rome's greatest emperors. He didn't just rule an empire, he ruled himself, living with wisdom, virtue, and serenity. In our fast-paced world, Stoicism offers a powerful guide, a steady light that helps us live with purpose, resilience, and inner peace. If you're feeling stuck or overwhelmed, if you're searching for a way to face life's ups and downs with a clear mind and strong heart, this is the path forward. Together, we'll explore how to bring timeless Stoic principles into modern life, not through grand gestures, but through simple, daily choices. This journey is deeply personal, even a bit mundane, but in the best way. It's about those small but powerful moments when you choose understanding over anger, discipline over laziness, and presence over distraction. Get ready to unlock a new level of inner strength. Let's begin this journey, not just to think differently, but to live differently. Every single day. 1. Choosing excellence every day. Imagine how different your day could look if, instead of rushing through it, you chose to slow down and focus on what truly matters. Picture yourself really listening to the people around you, not just hearing their words, but understanding their intentions, their fears, their hopes. It's in these moments, the ones that often go unnoticed, that excellence is cultivated. Think about sitting in traffic. Your patience is tested. Do you honk the horn in frustration, or take a breath and accept the moment as it is? Or maybe you're about to lose an hour scrolling through social media, but instead, you redirect your attention to a task that brings you closer to your goals. These small decisions seem insignificant in the moment, but they define the quality of your life. Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, understood the power of these choices. His greatness wasn't a result of royal blood, it came from the discipline to live intentionally, moment by moment. Stoicism teaches us that true excellence doesn't arrive with fanfare. It's shaped through daily effort, controlling what we can, accepting what we can't, and having the wisdom to know the difference. When you wake up tomorrow, recognize that you stand at a crossroads. Each decision, big or small, is either a step toward excellence or a step away from it. The beauty is that each day offers a fresh start. You don't have to be perfect, you just have to be committed to getting better. Ask yourself, what would a Stoic choose right now? You don't need to become a philosopher overnight, and you won't always get it right. But mindfulness, effort, and consistency are what matter most. At the end of the day, don't rush to distractions. Instead, sit with your thoughts or journal quietly. Reflect not just on what happened, but why it happened. How did your actions align with your values? Were you patient, kind, and intentional? Were there moments you're proud of? This practice of daily reflection, just a few quiet minutes, can dramatically shift the way you live. It helps you build self-awareness, the cornerstone of Stoicism. And in doing so, you begin to live not just more thoughtfully, but more meaningfully. Bit by bit, choice by choice, you build a life rooted in wisdom, integrity, and inner strength. That is what choosing excellence every day truly means. 2. The power of reflection. Reflection is like wiping the fog from a mirror. Each day, you clear away just a little more, slowly revealing a clearer view of yourself. With this clarity comes the power to live more intentionally, aligning your actions with your core values. This is the heart of Stoicism, living in harmony with your principles, with purpose and self-awareness. What's truly beautiful about reflection is its simplicity. You don't need elaborate rituals or expensive tools. All you need is the willingness to sit with your thoughts, to be honest with yourself, and to approach the moment with curiosity rather than judgment. It might feel uncomfortable at first, confronting your emotions, mistakes, or patterns head-on, but like any worthwhile habit, it becomes easier with time. And the deeper understanding you gain makes the effort more than worth it. Reflection also nurtures humility and compassion. It allows you to look at your missteps not as evidence of failure but as opportunities to grow. Stoicism teaches us that we are all fallible, all learning. When you reflect with kindness rather than criticism, you begin to treat yourself with the compassion you'd offer a close friend. That same compassion, in turn, extends to others. Let reflection become your daily ritual, your quiet moment of peace in a chaotic world. It grounds you. It reminds you of what truly matters. It brings you back to center when everything else tries to pull you away. Life, after all, is a mosaic of relationships and experiences, interactions with people as varied and unpredictable as stars in the sky. Some shine brightly, offering guidance and inspiration. Others challenge us, test our patience, and push us to grow. Yet, every one of these individuals, even the most difficult ones, has something to teach us. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic thinkers, understood this deeply. He knew that even those who frustrate or oppose us have a role in our personal evolution. Stoicism doesn't ask us to like everyone or excuse harmful behavior. It asks us to recognize that each person is walking their own path, carrying their own burdens, and navigating their own struggles, just like we are. Acceptance, in this context, isn't resignation. It's wisdom. It's the understanding that we are all imperfect and that we can learn from everyone. By practicing this kind of reflective acceptance, we free ourselves from resentment and frustration. We become more patient, more understanding, and more at peace with the world around us. So take the time to reflect, not just to remember what happened in your day, but to understand it. Use that insight to grow, to forgive, and to return tomorrow a little more aware, a little more aligned, and a little more you. That is the quiet, transformative power of reflection. 3. Accepting others. Imagine freeing yourself from the exhausting cycle of judgment and irritation, the constant inner commentary that drains your energy and distorts your peace of mind. It's like releasing invisible chains you didn't even know were holding you back. Suddenly, you move through life with more ease, a lighter heart, and a clearer perspective. That's the power of accepting others, not in passive resignation, but in the wise, intentional spirit of Stoicism. But let's be clear, Stoic acceptance doesn't mean becoming a doormat or ignoring injustice. It's not about tolerating abuse or pretending harmful behavior doesn't exist. Rather, it's about learning to choose your battles wisely. It's the discernment to know when your energy can genuinely make a difference, and when it's better, healthier, and more empowering to let go. This kind of acceptance is a conscious act of strength. It's about preserving your inner equilibrium in a world full of chaos. The world won't stop throwing challenges your way. People will continue to act out of their own struggles, fears, and misunderstandings. What changes is you. Your response. Your power. Your peace. So how do we bring this into our daily lives? Start small. The next time someone cuts you off in traffic or a coworker snaps at you, pause. Take a breath. Remind yourself their behavior is a reflection of them, not of you. Instead of reacting with anger, choose to remain calm. Choose to protect your energy. Of course, this isn't easy. But like any skill, acceptance becomes easier with practice. And the rewards, mental clarity, emotional resilience, and a deeper compassion for others, are more than worth the effort. When we practice Stoic acceptance, we not only create more peace within ourselves, but we also contribute to a more understanding world. We begin to recognize that everyone, just like us, is walking their own path, carrying invisible burdens, and learning through their own mistakes. This realization builds empathy. It allows us to connect, not from a place of frustration, but from shared humanity. In fact, every moment of irritation, every situation that tempts us to complain, is actually an opportunity, yes, an opportunity for personal growth. It's a radical shift in perspective, but one that changes everything. Take something as ordinary as being stuck in traffic. The typical reaction is stress, frustration, and a string of complaints. But what if you flipped the script? What if you saw it as a moment of unexpected time, a chance to listen to a favorite podcast, mentally prepare for the day, or simply breathe? That's Stoicism in action. Taking what life hands you and using it to your advantage. And this applies far beyond traffic jams. It's about retraining your mind to see every challenge as a moment to rise, to respond with wisdom rather than emotion. Accepting others isn't about lowering your standards, it's about elevating your peace. That's how you reclaim your power and live a more grounded, fulfilling life. 4. Beyond complaining. It's easy to complain. When life throws inconveniences our way, traffic, delays, difficult people, setbacks, venting feels natural. But what if, instead of complaining, we paused, took a breath, and asked, how can I use this situation to my advantage? This is the heart of Stoicism, focusing on what we can control and letting go of what we can't. We can't control traffic, unexpected delays, or how others behave. But we can control our response. And that response, when chosen wisely, has the power to transform not only the moment but our entire mindset. Let's be clear, practicing Stoicism doesn't mean suppressing emotions or pretending everything is fine when it's not. It means acknowledging your frustration, but then choosing to respond with clarity and purpose, rather than reaction and blame. The next time you feel irritation rising, try asking yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I grow from this moment? These questions shift your focus from passive complaint to active reflection. Over time, something powerful happens. The things that used to bother you begin to lose their grip. You become more adaptable, more flexible, and ultimately, more at peace. Marcus Aurelius, in Meditations, often reminded himself, and us, to examine the value of what we give our time and energy to. He prompts us to reflect on whether our daily actions, thoughts, and distractions truly align with what we value most. It's a deeply Stoic idea, to filter life through the lens of purpose, not noise. Ask yourself, does this activity, this conversation, this endless scroll through social media enrich my life? Or does it simply occupy space, distracting me from what's meaningful? This isn't just about productivity. It's about living with intention. It's about making deliberate choices that align with your deepest values and highest aspirations. This practice, turning your focus into a superpower, requires courage. In an age of constant distraction, being selective about where your attention goes is a radical act of self-respect. It's your shield against the meaningless, your sword for carving a life of richness and clarity. And sometimes, it means saying no, even when it's uncomfortable, so you can protect your energy and say yes to what really matters. How do we do this in practice? Start small. The next time you're tempted to complain, pause. Reflect. Reframe. Instead of saying, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "What can I do with this?" When you're overwhelmed by noise, step back and ask, "Does this deserve my attention?" Redirect your energy with intention, one moment at a time. This shift, from reaction to reflection, from complaint to clarity, won't happen overnight. But with consistency, you'll discover a quieter mind, a stronger sense of purpose, and a deeper connection to the life you truly want to live. Stoicism doesn't remove life's challenges, it teaches you to rise above them. 5. Focusing on what matters. Start small. Begin each day with a clear intention. What is one thing that, if I focused on it today, would move me closer to a meaningful life? Maybe it's spending quality time with your family, making progress on a personal goal, or simply taking time for self-care. It doesn't have to be grand, it just has to matter. Focusing on what matters isn't a one-time decluttering session or a dramatic life overhaul. It's a daily practice. It's the ongoing discipline of asking yourself, is this essential? But it's not just about cutting things out. It's about creating space for joy, creativity, connection, and purpose. When we clear away the unnecessary, we give ourselves the freedom to fully engage with what truly enriches our lives. Marcus Aurelius, arguably one of the busiest people in history, demonstrated this beautifully. Even while carrying the immense responsibilities of being Emperor of Rome, he returned time and again to his Stoic principles. He wrote to remind himself to focus on virtue, wisdom, and what he could control. His example shows us that no matter how busy we are, we can always return to what matters most. So, let's take on the same challenge. Be diligent gatekeepers of your time and attention. When a new demand or commitment presents itself, pause and ask, does this align with my values? Will it bring me closer to the life I want to lead? If the answer is no, have the courage to decline. This is how we protect our time for what truly matters. And remember, focusing on what matters isn't about getting more done. It's about getting the right things done. It's about ending each day not with a longer to-do list, but with a sense of fulfillment, knowing that your time was spent on something that truly resonates with you. This mindset also brings us closer to two other powerful Stoic practices, gratitude and virtue. Gratitude is a quiet but profound shift in perspective. Even on your hardest days, there's almost always something to be thankful for, a small kindness, a moment of peace, a lesson learned. It's not about ignoring the difficult things. It's about balancing them with the good. If your day has been challenging, acknowledge it, but then find one thing, however small, to appreciate. A warm drink. A kind word. The comfort of a familiar place. Gratitude helps soften the edges of our frustrations and reminds us of what we still have. And then there's virtue, the North Star of Stoic living. Marcus Aurelius and the Stoics held virtues like courage, honesty, patience, and kindness in the highest regard. When we focus on what matters, we're also choosing to live in alignment with these timeless values. We're choosing a life of depth, of integrity, of purpose. So each day, refocus. Let go of the noise. Choose what matters. And in doing so, create a life not just of activity, but of meaning. 6. The colors of gratitude and virtue. Gratitude and virtue, these aren't just lofty philosophical ideals, they're practical, transformative tools for living a life rich in meaning, integrity, and fulfillment. At their core, they are about being true to ourselves, staying aligned with our deepest values, and becoming the kind of person we respect and admire. Every time we choose honesty over deception, courage over fear, or kindness over indifference, we strengthen our moral character. These small, often difficult decisions help shape us into stronger, more compassionate, and more grounded individuals. But let's be honest, practicing virtue isn't always easy. It's simple to be kind when everything is going well. It's much harder to maintain that same kindness when you're under pressure, hurt, or overwhelmed. Yet, as Marcus Aurelius reminds us, these challenging moments are precisely when our values are tested, and when they matter the most. So, how do we begin to weave the vibrant threads of gratitude and virtue into the fabric of our daily lives? It starts with a simple but powerful act: intention. Begin each morning by setting the intention to embody a specific virtue and to find at least one thing to be grateful for. You might choose to focus on kindness today, seeking out small ways to show care to yourself and others. Or you might choose courage, facing a fear, speaking up for what's right, or stepping outside your comfort zone. The goal isn't perfection. It's progress. It's about making a consistent, conscious effort to live in a way that reflects your values. Over time, this effort adds richness and depth not only to your own life, but also to the lives of those around you. With every act of honesty, patience, or gratitude, you paint your life with brighter colors, colors that uplift, inspire, and connect. When we practice gratitude regularly, we train our minds to notice what's good and meaningful, even on hard days. This shift in perspective doesn't erase difficulties, but it helps us meet them with greater strength and clarity. A cup of tea shared with a friend, a lesson learned from a mistake, or a moment of stillness at the end of a busy day. These are the quiet treasures that gratitude reveals. And living with virtue, even when it's hard, gives us a sense of internal stability. It keeps us grounded when the world feels chaotic. It reminds us of who we are and who we strive to become. In our fast-paced modern world, it's easy to get swept up in distractions, to live reactively rather than intentionally. But every day offers us a chance to learn, to grow, and to deepen our connection with ourselves and others. Whether it's through reading, thoughtful conversation, or self-reflection, we can keep our minds flexible, our hearts open, and our spirits alive. So let's live with purpose. Let's paint each day with the colors of gratitude and virtue, and in doing so, create a life that's not only well-lived, but truly beautiful. 7. The never-ending learning journey. Learning is not a destination, it's a lifelong journey. A path with no final stop, no finish line, and that's precisely what makes it so enriching. The more we learn, the more we begin to understand just how much remains unknown. It's a humbling experience, this beautiful paradox where growth reveals our limitations. Yet in that humility lies the essence of Stoicism, an acknowledgement that we are always students of life, constantly evolving, adjusting, and refining our understanding of the world and ourselves. This humility doesn't diminish us, it connects us. It reminds us that everyone around us is also on their own journey of learning. It fosters empathy, patience, and a sense of shared humanity. We realize that wisdom isn't about knowing it all, it's about knowing that we never will and choosing to keep exploring anyway. In our ever-changing world, continuous learning becomes more than just a personal choice, it becomes a survival skill. The ability to learn, unlearn, and relearn is what makes us resilient in the face of uncertainty. It allows us not only to adapt, but to lead with innovation, creativity, and insight. We become examples in our communities, not because we have all the answers, but because we have the courage to keep asking questions. So how do we truly embrace this journey? It starts with a decision to remain open. Open to new ideas, new experiences, and yes, even to being wrong. It's about nurturing a curious mind, setting aside time each day, no matter how little, to feed that curiosity. Whether through books, conversations, podcasts, or quiet reflection, every moment of learning adds depth to our character. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, often revisited this idea of continuous reflection and learning. He didn't see learning as an intellectual exercise, but as a way of life. He approached it with humility, always striving to better understand himself and the world around him. We can follow that lead. We can make the choice every day to grow in knowledge and wisdom, not for recognition, but for the sake of becoming better human beings. Part of that growth involves learning to let go. Marcus Aurelius also wrote often about forgiveness, not as an act of weakness, but as a powerful form of inner strength. Holding on to resentment is like carrying a weight that only slows us down. Forgiveness, whether of others or ourselves, lightens that load. It doesn't mean forgetting or condoning hurtful actions, it means choosing not to be ruled by them. Forgiving ourselves is especially important on the learning journey. We will make mistakes. We'll fall short. But those moments, too, are opportunities for learning. Through forgiveness, we allow ourselves the grace to grow without shame, to move forward without carrying the past like a burden. Let's commit to this path of lifelong learning with open minds, humble hearts, and the courage to forgive. In doing so, we not only become wiser, but also more whole. 8. The freedom of forgiveness. Forgiveness, especially self-forgiveness, is one of the most liberating practices we can embrace. Yet, it's often the hardest to offer ourselves. We hold ourselves to impossible standards, expecting perfection in a world that guarantees failure. When we stumble, as we all do, we become our harshest critics, replaying our missteps like a broken record, amplifying every fault and drowning in regret. Stoicism offers us a different path. Rather than treating failure as a final verdict on our worth, Stoic wisdom teaches us to see it as a vital part of growth. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, reminds us that being human means being fallible. Every mistake, every moment of weakness, is an opportunity to reflect, to learn, and to evolve. By forgiving ourselves, we don't excuse our shortcomings, we acknowledge them honestly and resolve to do better. This act of self-forgiveness is not weakness. It's strength. It's a conscious decision to release the emotional weight that keeps us stuck. It allows us to move forward with clarity and renewed purpose. In forgiving ourselves, we create space for personal development rather than self-destruction. But the freedom of forgiveness doesn't end there. It naturally extends to others. When we practice compassion with ourselves, we become more capable of showing it to those around us. We begin to recognize that, like us, everyone is navigating their own struggles, doing the best they can with the understanding they have in that moment. This realization fosters empathy. It connects us more deeply to the people in our lives and transforms how we interact with the world. So, how do we cultivate this powerful freedom? It begins with a shift in mindset. Forgiveness isn't something we offer to others as a favor, it's a gift we give ourselves. It doesn't mean condoning harmful behavior or erasing accountability. Rather, it means choosing not to carry the pain any longer. It means refusing to let resentment or guilt shape our present or dictate our future. Practice compassion. Speak to yourself as you would to a dear friend. When others wrong you, pause and remember that we all make mistakes. We all fall short. That shared imperfection is what makes us human and what binds us together. Take inspiration from the Stoics. They understood that peace doesn't come from controlling others or rewriting the past. It comes from mastering our inner world. Forgiveness is a cornerstone of that mastery. It is the letting go of what no longer serves you, anger, regret, bitterness, and embracing what does, growth, understanding, and peace. Let us walk the path of forgiveness together. Let us choose to live unburdened by the mistakes of yesterday. In doing so, we create space for a brighter, freer today. The freedom of forgiveness is not a far-off ideal, it's within reach, here and now. All we have to do is choose it. 9. Living your ideals. Living your ideals means turning your values into daily actions, not just talking about them, but embodying them. It's about making the decision, again and again, to let your highest principles guide how you show up in the world. Whether it's in the quiet moments of forgiveness or the difficult choices that demand honesty, every act becomes a reflection of who you truly are. Take forgiveness, for example. When a friend lets us down, choosing to forgive isn't just a moment of grace, it's a powerful affirmation of kindness. That simple act doesn't just heal one relationship, it sets off a ripple effect. Others see it, feel it, and are inspired to offer the same compassion in their own lives. This is how our ideals gain momentum, through quiet, consistent practice. Honesty, too, is an ideal that requires daily courage. It's easy to be honest when the truth is convenient. But real integrity is tested when honesty comes at a cost, when bending the truth could save us embarrassment or give us an advantage. Living by the ideal of honesty means choosing to be truthful in word and deed, even when it's uncomfortable. Over time, this earns the respect and trust of those around us, forming the foundation for genuine relationships and a strong moral compass. Hard work is another vital ideal. It's not just about professional ambition, it's about bringing dedication to everything we do. It's how we invest in our personal growth, nurture our relationships, and serve our communities. It's about showing up with consistency, doing the right thing even when it's hard or goes unnoticed. It's this steady commitment that shapes a life of meaning. But let's be clear, living your ideals isn't about being perfect. It's about progress. Marcus Aurelius understood this well. He was fully aware of his own flaws, yet he approached each day as a chance to live closer to his values. That's the heart of Stoic practice, not perfection, but persistence. So how do we start? First, we need clarity. What do you believe in? What values do you want to define your life? Once you know, the real work begins, aligning your daily actions with those principles. Ask yourself throughout the day, am I living true to my values? It's not about grand gestures. It's the small decisions, the conversations, the reactions, the efforts that shape who we become. Let's take inspiration from the Stoics and commit to living our ideals in both the significant and the seemingly insignificant moments. Let us be people of kindness, honesty, hard work, and resilience, not in theory, but in practice. And when we falter, as we all will, let us return, with humility, to the path. Each day is a fresh opportunity to align our actions with our inner values. This path may not be easy, but it leads to a life of integrity, peace, and deep fulfillment. 10. Restoring balance and closing thoughts. Restoring balance isn't about rigidity or perfection, it's a gentle art of recalibration. Life is full of fluctuations, moments when everything aligns perfectly and times when things feel completely off track. The Stoic approach teaches us that resilience doesn't mean being unbending or fighting the natural ebb and flow of life. Rather, it's about being adaptable, forgiving ourselves for missteps, and recognizing that each day offers a fresh start. This mindset embraces the unpredictable nature of life, acknowledging that both triumphs and struggles are inevitable. The key to restoring balance isn't resisting these fluctuations but learning to flow with them. We can find meaning in both the highs and lows, using every experience as an opportunity for growth. Life isn't about avoiding challenges, it's about how we respond to them. Restoring balance is more than just managing time or fulfilling obligations, it's about aligning our inner world with our actions. It means ensuring that the activities we engage in reflect our deepest values, not just staying busy but pursuing what brings us true fulfillment. This balance involves listening to our physical, emotional, and spiritual needs, and honoring them by making the necessary adjustments to maintain harmony. How can we practice this in our daily lives? It begins with self-awareness. Take a moment each day to check in with yourself. How are you feeling today? What do you need more or less of to feel balanced? Perhaps it's more rest, movement, connection with loved ones, or time for solitude. Recognizing these needs is the first step in recalibrating. Next, make small, intentional adjustments. Maybe you need to say no to an extra commitment in order to protect your time for rest. Perhaps a few minutes of meditation or journaling in the morning can prepare you for the day ahead. You might also find balance by incorporating moments of joy or gratitude into your day, whether it's through a hobby, a walk in nature, or performing an act of kindness. These small, mindful choices can restore equilibrium in the midst of chaos. Restoring balance is an ongoing process, not a one-time fix. Some days will be better than others, and that's okay. It's important to be gentle with ourselves and recognize that progress doesn't always follow a linear path. Celebrate your successes, learn from challenges, and keep moving forward one step at a time. Marcus Aurelius's writings remind us that resilience and balance are within reach, no matter our external circumstances. By embracing each day with intention, we can navigate the ups and downs of life with grace and poise. We don't need to force balance into our lives, it's restored through small corrections, conscious choices, and a commitment to living with purpose. As we move forward, let's support one another in this journey. Share your experiences, your struggles, and your triumphs with those around you. Together, we can live lives that are not only balanced but rich in meaning and joy. Through the timeless wisdom of Stoicism, we learn that a fulfilling life isn't found in the absence of challenges but in how we respond to them. It's in our daily choices to live with gratitude, virtue, and perseverance. Every day is a new canvas, and you hold the brush. Paint your life with the vibrant colors of resilience, kindness, and purpose. Let's not just dream of greatness, let's create it step by mindful step. If you feel inspired by these ideas, join us on this journey, subscribe, explore more Stoic wisdom, and let's continue to grow together.